Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna do a spring juicy dewy makeup. Before we start with the tutorial, I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel. So to get started, I already have my skincare. I moisturize my face, so we're gonna start with a clean base. So I'm gonna get started by applying my Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. So I'm gonna just do one pump of this all over my face, and I'm gonna focus on the areas of my face that are a little bit more porous, like right here on the cheeks. I do like this primer because it has a pore filling property and it does give the skin nice radiance, and makeup tends to sit really nice on top of this primer as well. I'm gonna take my Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40. This one right here. My shade is Paloma. So I'm gonna take about this much and I'm gonna dot it all over my skin. This makeup look that I'm gonna do is just minimal coverage. Then I dotted it all over my face. I'm gonna grab a brush. This is just like a flat top kabuki style brush. This is from Morphe. This is from their holiday collection. It just looks like this. And then I'm gonna tap it all over my face. Any foundation, you wanna tap the product in and you wanna start with little product as possible. It's better to work your way up rather than start with a lot of product. That way, you know, you don't get cakey. It's also easier to blend products if you only have the right amount. When you do dewy skin looks, it's better to have less skin products, less amount of skin products, because you can use different products. You can use 10 products layered lightly, like more product layered lightly and applied in moderation will look much better rather than, you know, applying 3 layers of different products and, you know, putting so much amount in the skin. So the more that the skin looks like skin, the more it looks dewy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna spot conceal using my Milk concealer. This is in the shade Light. This is the Flex concealer. I just put it in the back of my hand because I noticed that this way it's easier for me to control the product. It warms up on my skin before I blend it out. It just makes for easier blending. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spot conceal like certain blemishes, you know, but I'm not gonna overly conceal them, in a sense that I'm just gonna tap the product on my finger and I'm just gonna apply it like this. And I just want the imperfections or blemishes in my skin to fade a little bit. I don't want to completely cover them. I'm gonna tap this all over my skin. So if you do this technique, you'll find that your concealer will just melt right away on your skin. It's not gonna look like too makeup-y. I'm gonna grab my kabuki brush again and you just want to tap it on the skin like so. For my brightening concealer, I would take this Benefit Boing Cakeless concealer. I really like this one. I noticed that it has a nice peachy undertone. The shade is number 3. So I like peachy undertones. You want peachy undertones to counteract dark circles. So like what we did earlier, I'm just gonna apply it right here on the back of my hand for the product to warm up. And then I'm gonna grab my finger, just grab the product from my finger and then tap it underneath my eyes. And because I do have like a wider face, I like to just tap the concealer right here, like down rather than wide, like so. I'm gonna grab my concealer brush. I like this concealer brush right here from Morphe. This one is also like dome shape. I'm just gonna tap. Apply a little bit of that here as well. Okay. Go back to my kabuki brush again, and we're just gonna tap everything. This is to unify the concealer and the tinted moisturizer that we just used. Make sure that there are no visible lines, demarcation lines that shows the skin or the base, your tinted moisturizer, foundation, or whatsoever from your concealer. So you want to tap that in place like so. I'm gonna set my concealer underneath my eyes. I like setting it immediately. I like setting it immediately. I'm using the CoverGirl Advanced Radiance Pressed Powder. I'm just gonna use a highlight brush like this, just a fluffy dome-shaped brush. I'm gonna apply that right here, just like right underneath. I noticed that this one brightens up my eyes. I really love this powder. Now that we're done with that, we're gonna go and do the cream contour and cream blush. So I'm gonna use my Huda Beauty Tantour bronzer, cream bronzer in the shade Light. I use the shade Light, and I'm gonna use a dome shaped brush like this. This is actually a synthetic brush, and I'm just gonna dip it ever so lightly in the product. So you can warm up your product on the back of your hand. It will ease the blending. Oh, I'm gonna apply that right here. So the way that I like doing my contour is doing it like above the ear. I'm just gonna tap that. And I already do my blending as I apply the product by tapping the product on my skin. I stop right where my eye stops. That's just what I prefer on myself. That way it gives you like higher cheekbones. You can see the difference already from this side and this side. I don't like striping the bronzer on my skin. I like tapping it already as I go. That way it blends easier. I'm gonna apply it on my forehead. So I'm gonna tap it on my forehead, and I'm gonna tap it right here on the center. I'm gonna do my jawline as well. I noticed too that cream bronzers tend to give coverage to the skin. So that's also the reason why I did not overly conceal the skin, or I did not overly apply my tinted moisturizer. Before I move on to the next step, I'm gonna grab the kabuki brush that I used to apply my tinted moisturizer, and I'm just gonna tap everything in place. Now here comes the fun part. I love doing my highlighter and my cream blush. So for my highlight, I'm gonna use Ozone Nabla Skin Glazing Glass Skin Finish Glow Powder. So I'm gonna use this one. I love this product right here. It looks so natural and skin-like. I'm gonna use the brush that I used earlier for my under eyes. And I like doing my highlight before I do the blush. I'm gonna apply it right here on the top of my cheek. And I like working circular motions. Look at that highlight. You want your highlighter to look natural because you wanna make sure that the skin, that the glow looks like it's coming from your skin. Just a little bit, just a touch. And right here, my Cupid's bow. There you go. I'm gonna use the blush balm. This is from Flower Beauty. These are awesome. This is in the shade Melon. I love it so much because it's so high impact color. Like just a tiny drop like this is a little bit like too much already. It's saturated with so much color and pigment, and I like the finish that it gives on the skin. So I'm gonna use my ring finger. I'm just gonna apply that on the apples of my cheeks. So I like overlapping my blush. I like it to overlap over my bronzer and over the highlights that I use. So just tap it on the skin like so. Isn't that pretty? I like that a lot. I think I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Okay. So I'm gonna grab the brush that I used, the kabuki brush, and I'm just gonna tap over just to help with the blend. The skin looks good so far, I think. I like finishing my complexion with my Jaclyn Hill Luminous powder in the shade Do Me. This is awesome. If you haven't tried it, it's worth trying. It's such a interesting texture. It's very silky, and it doesn't really mattify the skin so much, but it sets the makeup nicely, and I like the way that my skin looks when I have it on. I use it more like as an all over face powder. So I like just grabbing a little bit like this much on, barely any, and then I use like a big brush from Morphe Jaclyn Hill. This is the JH01. It's a big fluffy brush like this. This is really big, like nice and fluffy. So I'm gonna tap it all over my face. I think that looks good so far. I'm gonna do my brows next. For my brows, I'm really very simple with my brows. I just like filling them in and making them a little bit more feathery and thicker than how they are. So I'm just gonna apply my pencil. This is the Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit, and this is in the shade 4.5. So I'm just gonna apply this all over. Eye primer is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, and the shade right here, Earth Angel. I'm gonna concentrate on the outside part of my eye. I just find that it's really flattering for my eye shape. Like pressing the color into the area where I want the color to be most concentrated, and then I fluff it out using the same brush. I'm gonna apply using a much smaller brush like this. This is really skinny yet it's fluffy, so I'm gonna apply Earth Angel right underneath my eyes. It's just supposed to look together, I feel. A terracotta shade. So I'm gonna tap that right here on the outer corner of my eyes, and I'm just focusing the color mainly there. I'm gonna use the fluffy brush that we used earlier. So I'm gonna buff it out, apply this really pretty color. This is called Super Stardust. I think this is a what do you call that, Super Shock Shadow formula. I'm gonna tap that on the main lid using my fingers. This is gonna be so pretty. Apply what's left of the brush that I used earlier. This is the darker terracotta color called Chromosphere. I'm gonna apply that on like on the outer part of my lower lash line. I think I'm gonna use the Nabla highlighter that I used earlier. This is really pretty. I'm gonna zoom you out. Oop. I'm gonna apply my mascara and I will put a little bit of eyeliner on the inner rim of my eyes. I'm gonna use my Tarte Fake Awake. This is really nice. It's like an eye brightener. Really brightens up everything, makes everything look nice and fresh. I'm gonna use my Blinc mascara amplified. This is a mascara that's it's a tubing mascara, so it's really easy to remove. It's about 2 to 3 coats to really build it up. With some bottom lash mascara as well. When you do bottom lash mascara with that Tarte Fake Awake eyeliner, it looks really, it really like brings out your eyes and opens up your eyes. I'm gonna do like a peachy lip, I think. I'm gonna use the lip liner, this lip liner from Morphe called Babe. Let me just wipe off my balm. I like this color. I find that it's slightly pinker than the natural color, but it's the same tone, if you know what I'm saying. I love lip liner because I notice it makes a big difference, especially if you wanna even out your lips. I have full lips, but I wish my top lip was a little bit more fuller because I feel like my lower lip is full, so much fuller than my upper. So I smell to see if it's even. Okay. And then for my lipstick, I'm gonna use, this is the Morphe lipstick in the shade Wonder. This is from the collection of Pony. I'm just gonna tap it on my lips, blending it with the lip liner because I don't want it to look too full on. I still want the natural color of my lips to kind of show through. I'm gonna use my finger to blend. And then for my lip gloss, I'm gonna apply my Morphe Sweetie Icy Lips in Mami Lip Platinum. And I'm gonna apply that. I'm gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand and apply that with my finger. I just like doing this because it smoothens the lip gloss and really fills in the lines of the lips. Take out my clips and show you the finished look. Thank you so much for watching my video and hope to catch you guys soon. Bye!